Hey, what's up, you guys? This is part two to targeted individuals, high vibes. Okay, so I spoke about how, I smoke cigarettes currently and how it affects my vibration, how it lowers my vibration. Now, I smoked in the past, maybe it was over like 10 years ago, but I had quit smoking. I only smoked for like 2 years. Over 10 years ago, it was like I only had smoked for like 2 years. I was maybe like 16. I quit when I was like 18, and I didn't smoke for 8 years. I had changed my entire lifestyle. And I was speaking about in my last video how I was able to, there's been times where I'm able to access information within me about anything, and I know the answer. So during that 8-year period where I didn't smoke any cigarettes, and my lifestyle was just very healthy. I was very I took great care of my body. Like, I take care of my body now besides the cigarettes, but at that point my psychic abilities and my intuitive abilities were very, very potent. And this is the time, during that 8-year period is when the gang stalking, the so-called gang stalking, began. Now, when I look in retrospect and I start to understand why, I start to really understand why I was being targeted. One of the reasons, because I believe that, I've been targeted my entire life. Since an infant, I was being surveyed and observed, and I was raised by a narcissistic mother, and so it was just through my entire life. There's always been some form of a way to subvert my spiritual journey, a way to keep me from being successful on my soul's mission. So during that 8-year period, like when the gang stalking first started, like I'm sure all you, so-called TIs out there, it's like a shock. It's like your whole world's being flipped upside down. You don't know what's going on. Now, me personally, I feel like my gang stalking started because not only had I raised my consciousness level, very high, but I was really tuning into my psychic and intuitive abilities rapidly, because I was taking care of my body, and my lifestyle was very healthy. And these demonic entities, they can read our energy signatures. They can see our auras. Our auras, they either they shrink in, when we're under stress, because our auras, they protect us, our energetic fields, but they shrink in when we're stressed, and they expand, when we're happy, so I believe, like, at that time of my life, I was living a very healthy lifestyle. I was raising my consciousness. I was very happy. I was a Christian at the time, a Jehovah's Witness to be exact. And At that time, to be quite honest, and this may offend some Christians that may view this video, but at that time, I was a baptized Jehovah's Witness, but all the while I was seeing many contradictions, within the Bible, and because my consciousness was raised so high. I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, but I didn't get baptized, until I was an adult. So once I became more familiar with the Bible, I was seeing a lot of contradictions, and I was asking, the members at the congregation, the ministers, I was telling them and I was showing them the contradictions I was seeing, and right around that time, that's when my targeting intensified. Now, some of you may be thinking, well, then maybe it's the Jehovah's Witnesses that are targeting, are part of your targeting, but it's not that. Because like I mentioned, it's been going on my entire life. And I believe that all targeted individuals were raised by narcissistic parents in order to subvert their soul missions, because we all have a mission here, on this earth. And that's to, raise the vibration and to restore order, peace, love, and order, the natural order of the universe, so what it was, as far as me finding out, seeing all the contradictions, and I'm not saying that the Bible doesn't have truth in it, because I believe it does have truth, and it has a lot of information that has helped me throughout my life, and it has a lot of great values, for life, and I appreciate that aspect of it. So, but what happened was, as I raised my consciousness and I began to see not only the contradictions in the Bible, but I also began to wake up to the matrix construct, the world around us, the system around us. And I was beginning to see that this system around us and the way that everything is set up is not the way that life should be. Now, like I spoke about, the way in my last video, the way that we think can either raise our consciousness, raise our vibration, or lower it. So when you have a certain thought form, these demonic entities can read your energy signature. So when I'm raising my consciousness and I'm seeing that there's an evil matrix construct all around us, and I'm starting to put the pieces together, then they can read my energy signature from those thought forms, and they seen that it was raising. Okay, not only that, like I spoke about my aura, I was happy in that time of my life, and my aura was expanding, and I was really influencing people for the better around me. So that's when the stalking intensified. Has been going on my entire life. The gaslighting, the abuse, the mental abuse, the physical abuse, emotional abuse. It's been going on my entire life. But it intensified because I began to raise my consciousness. I was no longer a slave to my own mind. And what that did was that sent out a signal. And actually, I don't even believe it sent out a signal to these demonic entities, because they've always been observing me, like they've always been observing all targeted individuals. But they actually seen our energy signatures do something, and that alerted them. They already had the so-called gang stalking harassment tactics in place, so they already got it in place for certain individuals, once they raise their consciousness and they begin to vibrate at a higher frequency, they already got it in place to activate, these soulless individuals out here, to turn on you and your family and everything. That's on a whole nother subject. I can get into that on a whole nother video. But what I'm saying is, our vibration I believe, is a direct result of our gain stalking, our vibration, and our consciousness. Because what these demonic entities want to do is they want to keep everybody's consciousness as low as possible, because we live in a world that is energy based. Okay, everything is energy, and our emotions are energy. So what these demonic entities do is they feed off of our energy, off of our lower energy emotions. The sadness, the anger, the fear, the hate. That's food to them, literally. They consume it. You even have energy vampires, that are in the general population. If you ever been around anybody that always wants to tell you their problems, constantly, they just like a buzzkill. They always, every time they come around, they're full of drama. They always want to, they're always talking about something negative. Those are energy vampires. And they also, at the same time, they're throwing their baggage on you. They're looking for your sympathy. And as you give them that sympathy and you listen to them, and then, you're telling them how you feel and all that, and you're trying to cheer them up or whatever, then you're giving them your energy. You see, like, this is a very intricate system that we live in as far as emotional energy harvesting. It's also been called loosh. That's spelled Loosh, loosh, and that gets into the concept of the demiurge and the logos that are said to actually run the matrix system, the matrix construct. So that's why it's very vital that we're very in tune with our emotions, and we know how to keep them in check. And we also fully understand why we feel a certain way, because also these demonic entities and energy vampires can project thoughts into our minds, into our consciousness, into our subconscious. And also they can throw their negative emotions off on us. And especially as an empath, if you're an empath, then you know how being around certain individuals can actually affect your emotions. Sorry about that. I was looking at my phone. Can actually affect your emotions. So it's a lot of information that I really need to share with you guys. I'm kind of limited. I can only upload 15 minutes of video using my phone. So, but basically, this is a spiritual war. And one aspect of this spiritual warfare that we're going through, so-called targeted individuals, has to do with our vibrations. It's also a vibrational war. A war of higher vibrations and lower vibrations, because these demonic entities are lower vibrational beings, and they can't live in high vibrational environments, so in spaces. And that's why they have to maintain a lower vibrational population and consciousness of the people, of mankind. So yeah, I'm running out of time on this video. So guys, just look within yourselves, for the information, you know what I'm saying? If this resonates with you, and then, go do your research, research the demiurge, and I also want to stress that once you do this research, just always use your discernment. Don't always believe in everything you hear. Like, even what I say, you know what I'm saying? Do your own research. Look within you. Okay? I love you guys. Peace.